Okay, gang, today we are going to do Diane, 21-15-9 deadlifts and handstand push-ups. It's an iconic workout, a benchmark workout. The movements are obviously the deadlift and the handstand push-ups. So just take a look at the deadlift. Hopefully that was good enough for our purposes. So my goal today is to not only get you guys warmed up a little bit using the deadlift, but to refine the position some as well. And then finally, to see if we can't make some wise choices when it comes to choosing the workout that we're gonna do for the actual workout. Today is gonna be slightly different. While we're warming up, we're gonna start the deadlift and keep it throughout the warm-up with a double overhand grip. And so the loading today is going to be determined by how long you can hang on with a double overhand grip. Good? Okay. Sweet. All right, first thing we're gonna do when it comes to the deadlift is pick up our PVC pipe. Let's go ahead and grab that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and set our feet first. Our feet are gonna be hip width, approximately hip width. If you need to go a little wider, we could widen out just a tad bit. From there, we're gonna go double overhand grip, just like we talked about, but a thumb's distance grip outside the legs. And Zach, since your stance is a little bit wider, don't change it. Just make sure your hands come out a little bit wider so your knees can still track over your toes. From here, we're gonna come down to the middle of our shins because that's about the place the bar is gonna be. And if you can, look up front just a little bit. And now, Zach, where you are with your back, go ahead and arch your back or show me your name tag or the name on your shirt. Excellent. Arms are gonna be straight. From here, we're just gonna stand up. Awesome. Now that's a position we're going to revisit quite regularly, okay? Couple of things with the deadlift position for the setup. Number one, that bar is going to need to be in contact with the body. Number two, the weight's going to need to stay in the heels. So for these next reps, we're going to keep the bar in contact and the weight directly in our heels, okay? So from there, let's go back, reset down to mid-shin, hold that position. Awesome. Nicole, keep your arms long for me. There you go. Excellent. Ready and stand. Fantastic. Okay, go back down to mid-shin, hold, ready and stand. Good. One more time, Zach, so I can see your back position. Excellent. Can you arch a little more, brother? Now squeeze your belly. Fantastic. And stand. Okay, and relax. Okay, not bad on the way up, not bad keeping the bar nice and close to the body. The next thing that we're gonna focus on here is as we start to stand, we wanna make sure that we're pushing the knees out of the way from the start position. So as opposed to pulling up with the knees not moving at all, watch the knees as I deadlift. Notice they get out of the way of the bar so that the bar can travel in a straight line. In order to do that, I've got to extend the legs as the shoulders lift, okay? Here we go, bring back down to mid-shin, hold that position. Ready and stand. Awesome, ready, reset. Ready and stand. Not bad, Nicole, make sure that you don't push the knees back too far for me, okay? Reset one more time. Ready and stand. That's better, Nicole, like that. One more time, reset to mid-shin. Ready and stand. Awesome. Okay, go ahead and relax. Okay, so now we've got the idea of standing up. Remember we talked about pushing the knees back out of the way? The reason I want to do that is because I'm aiming to keep the shoulder angle from the middle of our shins to the top of our knees at a pretty constant angle. And all that really means is we're not going to adjust it this way or that way on standing. We'll push away till we get to the top of the knee, and then from here, we simply open the hips, bang. We're standing up at the end like we're at a Pledge of Allegiance or a salute. Pretty simple, okay? Now, we've stood it up pretty good. Let's talk about how to get back down. On the way down, we're simply just gonna rewind the tape. We're just gonna put it in reverse order. In order to do that, we've got to get the shoulders over or in front of the load. How are we gonna do that? Send the butt back until we get to the top of the knee, then go 2 inches lower, which should put us at the bottom of the knee. And notice this hip and shoulder angle is going to be set at that point. And then we simply return to mid-shin, okay? One more time, we'll stand tall, butt goes back, delay the knee bend, delay the knee bend, delay the knee bend. Now we're below the knees and we can reset to mid-shin. All right, here we go. Ready, and hips go back, soften the knees, delay, delay, and now settle to mid-shin. Hold that position, good. Ready and stand. Excellent. Nicole, much better on the way up. Do me a favor, Jocelyn, don't move quite as fast on the way up for me, okay? Ready and reset. Hips go back. Delay, delay, delay. Good. Hold. Ready and stand. Much better, like that. Good. 2 more. Ready and hips go back. Delay the knee bend. Good, Zach. Settle. Hold and stand. Nice, Zach. 1 more time. Reset. Butt backs and settle. Hold and relax. Go ahead. Cool. Okay, so that's just a few reps with the PVC pipe. Now what I want to do is go ahead and move the PVC off to the side, and we're going to use these barbells now, okay? All right, a couple of things with the barbells. What you'll notice if you'll approach it right at about feet hip width, you'll notice your bars don't have plates on them yet. No problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick your bars up from the ground. And when we do, we're going to start by standing all the way up, and we're still going to go back down to the middle of our shin. That should mimic this position here, which is about middle of shin, maybe a little lower, okay? Nothing's changed. We're still deadlifting, all right? Grab your barbells. Check your hands, check your feet. Standing tall, sorry. Stand tall. Check your hands, check your feet. Your feet should still be at about hip width. Nice job, Zach, widening your stance. Arms are straight, along for the ride. Here we go. Squeeze your belly for me. Good. Ready, and hips go back. Delay the knees and settle to mid-shin. Hold. Nice, Zach. Love the head position, love the knee position. And stand. Really good, Nicole. That time it felt like the knees from where I'm standing, like the knees might have gone a little early. Okay, so let's not go so fast with the knees. Reset to mid-shin. Hold that position. Ready, and stand. Yeah, Nicole, I like that. Reset to mid-shin. Good, Zach. And stand. Nice. 1 more time. Reset to mid-shin. Hold and stand. All right. Now go ahead and stand up your barbell for me, okay? Cool. All right. So now we're adding a little bit of loading here, right? So this is obviously just our starting weight. Shouldn't be anything significant for you. Couple of things that I want to talk about. At the very top, what I need you to do when you stand up all the way is to just make sure that you squeeze your belly there. In terms of our breathing, we're going to hold our breath at the bottom, but when we stand up, we can get a little bit of an exhale and then hold our breath again as we head back down to the floor. So I'm going to move these plates real quick, and I'm going to show you the breathing piece that I'd like to get here. All right. Okay, again, now that I'm good and set up here at the bottom, we would brace, stand up, breathe here, and then brace to head back to the ground, okay? All right, here we go. Reset, we'll get 2 more repetitions with this. Probably more, but we'll see what happens. Standing tall, belly tight, butt tight to start. Arms are straps, they're along for the ride, nice and straight. Okay, ready, and hips go back. Good, and stand. Nice, Jocelyn, love that. Ready, and back to mid-shin, hold, and stand. Good. Nicole, did you breathe that time?
At the top.
Okay, all right, here we go. Ready, and reset. Hold, and stand. Good, Nicole, love that one. Ready, and reset. And stand. Fantastic. All right, relax. Okay, you can go ahead and set your bar down now. Okay, so we've gone over stance, we've gone over grip, we've gone over back position, we've gone over breathing. The next thing, hips and shoulders rising at the same time, hit all of that. The next thing that I want to focus on primarily is just going to be at the very bottom, making sure that the shoulders do stay over the load. So on that last rep, Nicole, I felt like your hips were up just a little high. So what I need you to do from there, as you're going to settle, soon as you clear the knees, let's go ahead and bring these 2 points, bang, down together, as opposed to continuing the shoulders much further below the knees, okay? Can't start right, can't pull right if you don't start right, okay? Here we go. A couple more reps with the bars, and then we'll start talking loading. Standing tall, feet at hip width, belly tight, butt tight to start. Arms are along for the ride. Here we go. Ready, and hips go back. Good, and settle. And stand. I like that, Nicole. Ready, hips go back. Hold. Wiggle your toes for me, Zach. Good. Okay, settle your feet. Ready, and stand. Good. Last one. Reset to mid-shin. hold, and stand. Good, and relax. Go ahead and set your bars down. Okay, how we feeling? Pretty good? Okay, good. That's quite a few reps. I feel good about it. Right now you're moving pretty well. What I want to start doing now is adding a little bit of load. In terms of our loading for the workout, we're talking 21, 15, 9. I think it's like 45 repetitions or so of deadlifting with a double overhand grip is kind of our parameter for our loading going on now. What I'd like you to do is to choose or know exactly where your deadlift is in terms of a max load. I want you to, we're gonna aim for the workout to hit about 50%. But I'm gonna give you about 3 jumps to be able to choose that weight. If you don't know what your 1 rep max is, you don't know where that 50% is, just know we're probably gonna have 3 weight changes before we find the load we're gonna use for the workout, okay? With the goal being, I'm gonna double overhand grip and no more than 2 sets per round, okay? All right, so let's choose a light load. If there's weight on the bar, there are clips on the bar. Zach, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go prescribed, yeah.
Okay, 225?
Like 135, 185, 225.
Love that. Okay. Nicole, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking 155.
Okay.
Yeah.
135 you said?
155.
155, so as prescribed. Say it one more time.
50%?
Yeah, no more than 50, right? So 50 is where we want to be.
Like exactly it.
Perfect, love it. We'll earn the right to use the weight we're going to use today. How about that?
Perfect.
Jocelyn, you're smiling. Does that mean that I get to choose when you stop the weight and when you don't increase? The answer is yes, right?
Coach's
Love
choice.
it. Good. Remember, clips on the bar. Zach, you got a roaming barbell, brother. Thank you, sir. Okay, this first set that we're going to do together, okay? We're going to do together, and I'm going to use your barbell for a demonstration here, okay? The first set we're going to do together, and the first call I'm going to say is go ahead and get set. And all that really means is I want you to take that setup position, settle your back, settle your heels, and then lean to where you can take the slack out of the bar. You guys hear that? What I don't want to have happen is for your first pull to be clink, and then the bar moves off the ground. We're going to take the slack out of the bar, and then from there we can squeeze it up off the floor as opposed to jerk it up off the floor. Good? All right, here we go. Reset. I'll guide you through these first couple of repetitions, and then we'll roll with it together. All right, here we go. Approach your bar. Get set. Pull the slack out. Ready and stand. Excellent. And reset. Nice, Nicole. Going again. Ready and stand. Good. And reset. Love the slack out of the bar that time, Zach. Ready and stand. Good. And reset and relax. Jocelyn, did you hear the clink come out of the bar that time?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we weren't actually set there, right? So remember, right before you pull, I want you to give a little bit, just kind of pull the bar into you and maybe push on the floor just a little bit to ensure that you're ready to go when we start from the bottom. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to increase the reps for this very next set. So at each repetition, we'll touch the ground and stand all the way back up, touch the ground, stand all the way back up, okay? I'm not looking for you to rush through this, but I do want you to be able to get 7 repetitions with this weight. How many reps are we getting? 7 repetitions. I'll call go, and then you'll move it at a moderately steady pace, okay? Here we go. Reset, slack out of the bar, ready, and go. Good, Nicole. Good, Zach. Good, Jocelyn, like that. Keep that bar close once you clear the knees, okay? Pull it into the body. Better. Love it. Awesome. And relax. Okay, how we feeling? Okay, a little smile there. What's happening? Talk to me.
7 or 8.
I just like in the deadlift.
Well, I would prefer more reps than less. So as long as you did at least 7, then we're all set, okay? Now what I would like to do is I'd like to take one more jump. This is not going to be the actual load we use for the workout, but it'll be somewhere between the two. So if you know what weight you're going to use, let's see if we can't pick something between this load and the weight we're thinking we can use for today. If you're unsure what to do with the jumps, just run over to me real quick and I'll help you make a decision, okay? Got about 1 minute to make that happen.
What do you want? I'll take those.
Okay. I'll take the 45.
So this will be 125 for you?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. I like that.
I like this. It's getting me to 45 right now.
Nicole, this means what for you? What's the weight here? 135. So we'll have one more jump after this. Is that correct? Okay.
Loading the plates and everything. So many colors. Yeah. What's that? Is it Mastermind? Mind? What's the one where you got all the little colorful pegs and you try and guess what the pattern is for the person?
Can't say that I know that one.
Mastermind. It's a game.
All right. Okay, since there's only 3 of you, we're going to do these again together, okay? First couple of reps, we're only going to do 3. Then we'll take a pause. I'll have a little discussion, and then we'll increase, try to go back to that 7 one more time, okay? All right, as soon as we get set on the barbell, what's the first thing we do before we pull?
Slack.
Yeah, get the slack out. That can also be a nice time for you to set the belly, so hold your breath at that point. All right, here we go. Reset. Slack out of the bar. Good back position, Zach. Ready and stand. And now butt backing down to the ground. Ready, stand. Good, Nicole. And butt back right to the ground and stand. And reset. Nice, Jocelyn. Okay, all right. Let's talk positioning now that we've got loading on, right? So you can feel that the bar is probably trying to pull you slightly forward. Come on down here to this resting position, right? Your feet should still be in about the same position. If you can lock those arms out nice and strong, this is the position we're going to pass through as we're deadlifting, both on the way up and on the way down. And again, the only way to make that happen, Nicole, is to be able to get those knees where? Back and out of the way. So just hold out in that position and watch me. I'll pull the bar, boom, above the knee, and then stand, and then I'll pass right back through that resting position as I take the bar to the ground. So from here, on the count of 3, we're going to let our hands slip down to mid-shin. 1, 2, and 3. Boom. Feel that start position? Yeah, outside, Nicole. There you go. Ready, back to the knees. Hold, and now stand. So we should pass through that on the way up and also on the way down, okay? Now we're going to go for 7, okay? A little bit tougher. This time you're going to be able to move at your own pace. So once I say go, it'll be 7 repetitions on your own, okay? Again, right before you get set, what are you going to do with the bar? Take the slack out. All right, here we go. Reset. Nice, Zach, okay? Ready, go. Good, Nicole. Nice, Jocelyn. Good. Fantastic. Okay. All right. So we're going again. We're going to go one more time with this one, but this time we're only going to do 3. One thing I want you to think about is there's a little movement in your heel, okay? So the heels are kind of not really shifting all the way forward to where I see daylight, but the back of your shoe that was down before shifted forward just a tad bit. So we'll keep it down. Nicole, we're going to keep the bar close once we get above the knees. And here's the thing, at the top, your finish position, you don't need to go quite so far back, even if you're breathing. So squeeze your breath, breathe at the top, but don't lean back too far, okay? All right, only 3 repetitions this time, okay? Here we go. Reset, ready, and go. Better, Jocelyn, good. Good, Nicole, keep it close to the body, okay? All right, cool, and relax. All right, how we feeling?
Good.
Okay, all right, this is gonna be our next jump, okay? So we're going now to our working weight for the actual workout, all right? 225 for men is the most you can get. 155 for ladies is the most you can get. We determined your weight and you said you're going 155. Okay, feel pretty good about it. How you feeling now?
Maybe 135.
135? I love that. So we'll put 5s on. Is that kind of the deal there? Good? Still feeling 225?
Yeah, see, yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
All right, before we go ahead and start the workout, we are going to do one more set of 7 unbroken. Does that change your decision at all about the weights you're going to use?
Maybe afterwards.
Great. You got about 60 seconds. Grab a new load. Zach, love the back position. It's pretty darn good. I know you're working on it, but just keep pulling that bar in close so it sets the shoulder girdle, okay? Did you feel better on your heels that time?
Yeah.
It was obvious for me from the side.
At the start.
Specifically at the start and transitioning between reps. So when you touch the ground, that's usually where there's some movement. Yeah, for sure. Nicole, do you have any opposition to pulling that bar in close to the tights once you clear the knees?
No.
Okay.
On the way up.
On the way up specifically. Down's great,
Okay.
but on the way up, not so much. Okay? Jocelyn, if you're ready, you can go ahead and go. Okay? How many reps you doing?
7.
7. What grip are you using?
Overhand.
Love it. Good. Whenever you're ready. Great. Love that. Heel stayed down the entire time. Nicole, as soon as he pulls his bar back, maybe just a tad bit, you'll be all set. Good. Love that. Fantastic. And even on the last one, you set it down properly. Good. If you need to go to the restroom, take it. Nicole, whenever you're ready. Hey, I hear the tights. It's good. Yep. Yes, ma'am. Good. Nice. Hell yeah. All right, Zach, you. Did you hear it ride by your tights on that one, Nicole?
Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
Excellent. Love it.
I heard your tights.
Yeah. Good, Zach. Okay. Okay. Good. You can tell the difference when that bar is closed because when you stand up, the shoulders don't roll back. That's what we want, okay? Fantastic, okay. So again, we're going 21, 15, and 9 deadlifts and handstand push-ups. Any decisions we need to change before we go ahead and start the workout with the loading? Good, ma'am?
Feel good.
Yeah, this wasn't a rhetorical question, so I need some feedback. Sir?
Good. Just grip.
Good. Grippy, yeah. Great question. So the comment was about grip. I wanted you to set your loading at 225 for the barbell for today. And so if you have to take an extra set to get through the round of 21 or the round of 15 or the round of 9, I want you to take it 3-4 seconds, but try to stay with the grip. It's going to be the limiting factor in the workout today.
Great.
Okay? Awesome. Cool.
Sweet.
Chuck. Good job. I'm ready.
I know, I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Good job, guys. It's great.
Take another one.
Cool. So let's just talk about that really quick. I just want to touch on like the way that Chuck did this teaching, seeing, and correcting a bit there. So teaching a movement, first thing we do is stance and grip. Like it's this basic setup and body position, and he had you guys get there in a logical fashion. And then he taught the setup position. What you did different with your teaching of a setup than everything else, that you mirrored the position. By that I mean you taught a couple things while holding the position like chest up before you taught them and let them see you. Is that a technique that you like to use for the setup position on a frequent basis?
No, it was just one of the things that I did today. I usually have a logical plan for it, and just the way the gym was set up today, I just chose to do something different.
Yeah. And I thought it worked out just fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, he was able to get through a couple of super concise teaching points while having you guys hold a position. What I'm going to touch on a little bit now, I planned on later on, was I think using a PVC was helpful for all your instruction. You guys got a lot of reps with the PVC pipe without having to worry about your grip. And I think a lot of times I would jump like initially to the barbell right away, but you spend about 5 or 6 minutes with PVC pipes in hand. And I think if you guys would have jumped right to the barbell, would have been a lot of like people worrying about their grip fatigue and that sort of a thing. So I think going PVC right from the beginning was a good call for what you wanted to do for this workout.
Yeah, that was by design. Yeah, because I obviously wanted them to stay double overhand the entire time, and so that was a way to kind of limit it. So not knowing how many reps I was going to be able to do because of the seeing and correcting that might be required. So
So I mean, for you guys too, that was helpful, right?
Yeah.
He can make a lot of corrections there without you guys having to worry about other things going on in your head.
On top of that, like, so when do you go straight to the bar? Like, generally in your class?
Yeah.
Right. Is it like because you don't have much time, or because there's some feedback there? Like, what movements do you generally?
Yeah. Sometimes with a front squat or sometimes with a deadlift, I'm going to go through it kind of quick and get loading on faster. Maybe for a longer workout, I might bypass PVC and go to a barbell. Yeah. Sorry, I'll let you answer.
No, I was going to say a similar thing, but in addition to that, I would add that if we would have taken too long in the handstand push-up progression, maybe that we would have been going through, I would have probably have skipped that and went right to the bar, just because it would have made up at least 5 minutes having used the PVC.
I think as far as like the teaching of the dynamic phase of the movement, like we got 5 things we got to teach primarily. You know, there can be some nuanced stuff in there, but things like neutral spine, heels, bar path, hips and shoulders rising together, and active shoulder really combines with bar path as well. I think what you did a great job of, was just layering those things in throughout a series of reps. Like you taught midline from the beginning, and your next step where you kind of layered in heels and bar path together. You guys did reps where you focused on that. Then you focus on the hips and shoulders rising upwards a couple of different times there throughout the progression. And you've had a logical way of going, like you taught the way up and then you taught the way down. So all the aspects of the movement got hit really seamlessly throughout like a quick progression there.
Little comment on like the hips and shoulders rising. He gave us a lot of points to look at, like hit the PVC pipe as his torso, or him drawing our eyes to those points. Like I think I generally see new coaches have a hard time teaching that point.
Yeah.
And it's because they don't know how to show the visual for them to like digest it, or the athletes to digest it. And that was like a great example of like, hey, oh, I can actually see what I'm supposed to do.
And to that point, it became very highlighted that it's the knees moving, bending, and extending that enable the torso to maintain that position with your demo, and then with the one we did standing there with our hands, right? Like what's moving to allow that to happen is that the knees are rebending. I think connecting those two was like, it was just like, oh, just bend the knees.
In both directions.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like something he hit multiple times throughout in short little bursts, right? Essentially there. With a short talking point, he would reiterate something like that of focus, and then have you guys do some reps. So you can watch it and check it out.
I was trying to make sure that I used my teaching points and drug them out long enough with hopefully simple explanation and maybe even some visuals so they could rest because of the double overhand grip piece. So
sure.
That was what I was trying to do in addition to get the point across.
And I think seeing correcting wise, kind of building off of teaching, you guys all had something you guys got worked on, right? What would you get worked on?
Keeping the bar close.
Getting the bar close,
And
right?
my knees,
and then
navigating my
hips
knees,
and shoulder position. Zach?
Back flat, stay back in the heels.
Yeah, back in the heels and then the bar close at the bottom.
Yeah, so that's a good example of like good athletes moving along. We can get some nuanced stuff dialed in, even as you're building up in weight and stuff like that. Now, for a new athlete, what are some common things you're going to see? Like, these guys have some experience. We're still digging in, making their technique solid, but newer athlete in class, what are some things you might see pop up?
I think one of the first things you're going to see is inconsistency in the setup, just because they're not used to being in the same positions, right? Yep. So I said mid-shin, go to this position. I think what you'll find is there'll probably be some hips high and maybe some hands a little lower. And typically the back position loses position either at the top or in the middle, possibly even the setup. Yeah. That hip and shoulder angle comes in, I think, more so when you start adding load, especially if it's somebody that's had back challenges in the past or doesn't realize that in order to get this movement, the bar to move straight, you have to expose the back side of the body to the lift. And so they'll try to keep the chest up by shooting the knees forward, and it changes not only bar path, but also the lever arm, if you will, of the deadlift. So.
Is that where you focus a bit on that position on the way down?
Yeah.
So with the new athlete that is having a flex spine, maybe they're losing a lumbar curve on the way up, what are some cues you got for that?
Yeah, the first thing I would say is obviously just lift your chest. I think I used Zach, show me your name tag. I could have used show me the the words on your shirt. What else? Ice waters down your spine, right? Pretend ice waters down your spine. Usually what will happen there is...
Stealing that one.
Yeah, please do. Besides wanting to fight you, what you'll get is maybe an exaggerated position. Yeah, okay. But if they're in a poor position, I'll take the exaggerated position, not loaded, and then we can address it on the next couple of reps. So
I like that, as you said, Chuck's teaching points were short. His pacing was really nice. I feel like if there was a new athlete in the room, they would have been easily able to follow along with exactly what was happening, exactly what body parts needed to do what. The pacing of his speaking was nice and calm and easy to follow. I feel like that was really good.
I agree. Okay, the grip. Let's talk about it. We mentioned it a couple times now, and you guys may have some feedback on that. So 21-15-9, moderate loaded workout. Why double overhand grip? Is that something you always have people do?
No, it's not.
When would you go to a mixed grip?
Yeah, so the goal was, had I not said, all right, we're ready to go ahead and do the workout today, the goal would have been to talk about reversing the grip. Having said that, though, I would have liked to have done it a couple of sets before, as opposed to getting to the actual working weight of the load. And the reason for that, obviously, if we're at max loads, you expose the bicep. The tendency, if you bend the arm, is increased risk, and I didn't want to do that at the loaded weight for the workout. But I like it because it helps them make good choices here. At least that was my opinion and what I was hoping for. So.
What do you guys think?
I liked it. I think it's good even if it carried through the workout. I think it becomes a default. You always go to mixed grip, and I think it does some nice things to balance out your scaps and how they're loading the bar.
And I think that's one of the trends we're trying to avoid, right? It's just like you can go to mixed grip, but not all the time, right? It's kind of good to throw in stuff where we're just going to go double overhand because of the grip strength and stuff like that.
I appreciated that with new people. I never give them a mix. I don't give them a stronger grip than they have midline yet. So I always watch, if it starts to slip out of the hands, I'll switch their grip. But I always watch can their midline handle the load before we start giving them a stronger grip.
Yeah.
Had a couple other ones for you. I just want to pick your brain about it. 50% percentage.
Yeah.
Okay. What made you choose that percentage for the workout?
Yeah. Well, there was two things I tried to throw in there. Number one, 50% of your 1 rep max was kind of like I figured for 45 repetitions should be a safe load, right? That was one. Number two, because we were going to go double overhand grip, I didn't want anybody to exceed that, because now what we end up doing is standing around and looking at the bar as opposed to getting, some work done. So who's getting fitter? The person staring at the bar because they went RX, or the person who's moving a lighter load, keeping the intensity high. So, yeah.
What do you guys think about the percentages? Do you guys use them at your gym? Do you use them a lot?
I use them sometimes, yeah. Not knowing this crew and what their numbers were, I figured 50% would be a safe load for one workout for me to watch.
I always look at the reps, maybe consecutive reps in a row, but also total reps in the workout, and adjust the percentage to that. And I think that was appropriate for the workout.
Would that be sorry, go ahead.
How close was that? Is that 225 to?
Just probably 55.
Yeah, okay, great.
In our gym, we always say we program for the best, scale for the rest. For a male that can deadlift 450 and a female around 300. So it's exactly right in that 50% range for the athletes we have in mind that should do the workouts as prescribed.
Okay, gotcha. But it's not a hard 50%,
No.
right? And that's one of the key points to get across is I think percentages could be good guidelines, but I think percentages will feel different based on the person you're working with. 90% for some, a newer athlete, could feel kind of light. You might do 10, 15 reps with that. Whereas 90% for Nicole is going to feel really freaking heavy because she has neurological efficiency with that load. So not necessarily a hard rule, but it's a guideline. And you're still assessing to make sure we got the right weights in the bar?
Yeah, definitely tried to do that. I tried to set also the total sets that they would do throughout each round, so that would kind of maybe guide the more advanced athletes. But if the less experienced didn't know exactly what to do, I could sort of add some numbers to that or decrease load if I had to.
And then, so if you had to decrease load, what would be one of the signs of that? Someone that's got too heavy of a weight.
Yeah. So typically the first thing I would see is, number one, a facial expression that leads me to believe this is way potentially too heavy. That's one. And then number two, which is probably the most important, is body position change. So I'm looking for the neutral position of the spine. I'm looking for hips and shoulders, right? All the points of performance we talked about. Yeah. Any deviation in that, you got about 1, maybe 2 reps to try to fix it. And if you can't, we got to make an adjustment. Yeah.
2 nuanced elements, which I thought were cool.
Okay.
Breathing.
Yeah.
The breathing cadence, I think it's important to discuss why you had them breathe in the way you did, and why you taught slack out of the bar.
Yeah.
Because that gets often overlooked too, right? I'm probably guilty of that as well. So can you discuss with that, your breathing first and why you taught it the way you did, and then or the reasoning for slack out of the bar?
Yeah, so the breathing piece was set because I wanted to kind of maintain that neutral position of the spine, and by bracing to start, it's kind of one of the ways that you can hold that position a little bit better. I also was hoping that they'd move through those reps relatively quickly with that short breath at the top, drop, and then keep moving. That was the original goal. The second one was slack out of the bar. And I noticed that based on what I thought happened with Zach that wasn't. I told him, wiggle your toes. And usually you see the athlete shift back. He didn't move. I was like, oh crap, he's already set perfectly there. So when you pull the slack out of the bar, it simply just sets the shoulder girdle, if you will, and just lets the body know that, hey, we're about to become under some pressure here. So.
Do you guys normally go about teaching that breath control as well in the same fashion that he did?
I teach it. I just don't teach it every time. But yeah, I think it always blows me away how many times you teach back squat 5x5, or someone will be like, "How do we breathe during this?" And you're like, "Oh, we should talk about that."
Yeah.
So try and sprinkle it in across movements on a consistent basis. But I definitely don't talk about it every time.
Heavy for sure, like always on heavy, but never ever else. I think everyone's system's different.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, do you breathe on the pull of the row and then the in? Or like I don't know.
Just breathe.
Really?
Yeah. Make sure you do when you can.
What do you want?
There can be some techniques there for sure to maintain stamina over time, but like really, I think it's up to that individual. But under heavy loads, it's time maybe to teach some of that.
Okay.
Movements where bracing is so important, and the breath is a part of maintaining neutral spine. I think you have to address where to breathe and where not to breathe. The bottom of a back squat.
Then it just brought up something else with the deadlift, like, and maybe this workout too. What if you have an athlete that's like, can I wear a belt today for this workout? What do you think?
What are we training for?
Yeah.
You tell me.
Exactly. I
Like,
want
the
to know.
fastest time possible.
Nah. Show me hit perfect fast.
So you're perfect fast?
Yeah, man, that's me.
Nicole?
Oh, she likes the belt. She likes the
No, are you kidding me? I'm the anti-belt.
Do you allow belts in the gym?
If you're lifting over 80% on like lifting days and you want to pull it out where like and that all the other mechanic pieces are in order, then yeah, we're okay if people wear belts. But I think that the parameters have been set such that nobody's pulling a belt out every single time they back squat. Nobody's pulling a belt out every single time they clean and jerk. And definitely, we're not pulling belts out for Metcons. Just as like a baseline lifestyle choice. We're a core strength and conditioning program. Yeah.
We always say save the belts for max out day, and it's not smart to max out every day.
Right.
So you only get a few of those a year. So treat yourself on max out day, but you got to be smart where you sprinkle it in.
People surprise themselves when they don't use it all the time, and they do throw it on those days. So it becomes like a crutch or a boost.
Yep. 100% agreed.
Yeah, I'm very much like Zach. I have more questions before I go ahed and say yes or no. I want to know what's going on.
My back hurts.
Yeah, what's that? Yeah, I need more details before that. Yeah. But more times than not, I'm probably not a big proponent of them. Yeah, for sure.
Agreed. Well, good job, guys.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank
job.
you. Thank you.
Okay, we're high-fiving.